The family of a local teenager says she never would have left home without calling.
Just praying for the best. I want my daughter home, man. And if she can't come home, I just want to know where she's at.
These posters around the towns of Livermore and Jay beg anyone with information to come forward. Posters that Richard puts up every spring, never losing hope.
Tell me what happened to my daughter. Justice, let me in the arms so I can see her.
An arrest in a nearly 4-decade-old cold case thanks to cutting-edge DNA technology. The arrest happening exactly 39 years to the day
when Parabon Nanolabs used that sample to create 3D models of the suspected killer's face.
It's heartbreaking. We miss her, and we're going to find her. We're going to keep looking till we do.
It's like a never-ending nightmare. It doesn't end. It keeps returning and coming back.
Tonight, I'm joined by Jenny Jimenez. She is the mother of Emily Hieber, who disappeared February 3rd, 2013 from Yuma, Arizona. Jenny, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. And this is the 10-year anniversary since she's been gone.
It is, yes.
It's got to be hard for you.
Can't even imagine. I can't believe it's been this long, honestly.
Oh, can you tell us a little bit about Emily and the kind of child she was growing up, maybe the things that she was interested in, just who she was?
Yeah,
who she is.
That's okay. She was, just her own little person. She always independent, even being so young. She was funny, sometimes funnier than she thought she was, but always made us laugh. She grew up, she became a swimmer, which I was a swimmer also, so that was really exciting for me. She's so good. She was very, very good. We actually shared the same events. She did the same events I did. She had a lot of friends, and she always made them laugh, and even talking to them to this day, she was just a really special little girl. And she, has, sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
She had a lot of things growing up too. Not a lot, just things that affected her. She had some, she had her accomplishments, she had her disappointments. She had a very not great relationship with her dad. She had some things happen to her as a child, which I think as she was growing up just maybe got her into things that she unfortunately got into.
Now, I think I read that she actually beat your record in swimming, did she not?
She did. That was her goal. We both swam the 100 butterfly, and I actually held the record at Kofa High School, and she was determined to beat my time, and she beat my time.
Brag it all, right?
Oh, it was amazing though. It was so amazing. Like when you have done something yourself, growing up, and then you watch your child just be so phenomenal at it. It was a pretty cool thing. Very cool thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So describe like her early adolescent life. You said she started kind of maybe getting the wrong crowd or. Yeah,
her junior year was probably the best year ever. She had good grades. Her swimming was just skyrocketing. She truly could have went to any college or university she wanted to go to. She was so good. That summer after her junior year, things just started changing. I started finding things in her room. She just started changing. And she did start her senior year, but it didn't go very far. we started noticing things, missing in the home, and that was just the beginning of the downfall, basically.
So she was taking things from the house?
She was. I actually had my house broken into, and then later found out that it was, she had arranged it and pawned all the stuff that was taken from my house. But she started stealing from family members, and it just got pretty bad.
Now, I mean, I know why, but for the people who are listening, why did she start going down that road? What was the...
I honestly believe she just started with a wrong crowd, like a different crowd. She kind of strayed away from her really good friends, her swim friends, her school friends. And I think that was the beginning of it. She always wanted to be liked. So I think that's why her sense of humor was so, she was just always so funny and cracking jokes. But she had just always wanted to be liked. And I think that got her in some trouble.
She got involved with drug use, right?
Yes.
And that's why she was stealing from you and from her family.
Yes.
It's horrible with, doing this podcast, and I kind of help work as an advocate for missing people. The number of people that are missing that's falls back on drug use, right?
Yes.
And then, unfortunately, I think that maybe not always the police departments are thoroughly committed to helping them because they are not a desired person. But how do you feel Yuma worked in your daughter's case?
Well, she was out, let's see. So I'll go back a little bit. So when she left the house, she was on the streets for about a year, just going from place to place, different group to different group. Still very, very in contact with us, though. That never really stopped. When she went missing, she had been missing we hadn't heard from her, let's say, in about 2 weeks, which wasn't like her, because whether she was calling me or my mom or my other daughter, it just wasn't like her. I did call the police department to file a missing persons report, and they said because of her age and her lifestyle that they couldn't file it. At that time, we started putting out flyers of our own, started doing things on our own. Not too far into that, there was a girl who was found in the Groves here in Yuma, and my dad had went out to the Groves because at that point we didn't have anybody investigating her. So he went out there himself, and when the news broke, and he spoke to a detective about Emily, and he took the case right on the spot.
Good. There are good people still in the world, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
So Emily was 19 when she disappeared, and she had moved out of your house. I think the last time she was seen was by her grandparents.
She was last seen by my mom, her grandma.
And she had a dog with her named Bruiser.
Bruiser.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the dog has never been found either.
No, we sent pictures to the Humane Society and, just things like that. And she was never found either.
When Emily left your mom's house, did she own a vehicle? Did she drive away?
The reason why she left my house is I took her car from her because of things that were happening in the home. And that's the day she left, is the day I took her car. And so she was out there without a car.
So she left on foot, or did someone pick her up that day?
Somebody picked her up.
Do you know who that was?
I don't. It was a friend. It kind of looked like a parent of a friend, to be honest. He parked way down the street. It was odd. I went outside when she left, and I didn't really realize it was going to be the way that it was. But then after searching the house after she left, she had taken like her birth certificate and savings bonds and, you know, that sort of thing. So it seemed like she was planning on being gone for a while.
Yeah, determined to be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And was that the same day that she went to her grandparents' house as well?
No.
So how did she get picked up from her grandparents' house? Do we know
Well,
who
that
picked her up?
was about a year later, because she left my house, and then about a year later, she had went to my mom's with a friend. That friend has been talked to, but she was with him.
Now I read somewhere where her ex-boyfriend had been released from jail close to the same time that she had disappeared.
Yes.
And his name was Carlos. Has he been spoken to by PD?
He has. He's been spoken to by them and also the private detective that we had hired.
And that's Dave McDowell?
Yes.
He's investigated for quite a while on this case. He's been working it for how many years now?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, after 2 years, they turned Emily's case into a cold case.
2 years.
2 years.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So he's interviewed Carlos as well?
He has.
And what was Carlos' story when he was interviewed?
According to everyone, he was in the rehab. He was in rehab when it happened, when she went missing. Because when he got out of jail, he had to go into like one of those rehab homes places.
Oh, okay.
So,
do we know who the last person is that actually saw her? I know that we say her grandmother, but
you mean family-wise, or?
Well, there must have been a friend that saw her last, and was it that same day, or was it like maybe a week later, or?
Actually, upon investigating, when the police department still had the case, they had found she had been involved in like a shoplifting thing going on with a group that she was involved in, and she was seen on camera at a Walmart a few weeks after she had went missing.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he brought us the pictures, and it was her.
Now, for the people that don't know, Yuma is fairly close to the Mexican border as well, about 20 minutes from the border. Is that where you live now?
I live in Yuma, yes.
Yeah. And so, is there any ties to like like cartels or anything that possibly she could have gone to Mexico?
Yes, that's one of the stories, is that she was working with them and like bringing like drugs across back and forth. That was investigated also. And I know it's probably really easy to go back and forth without being spotted. But she didn't really have a lot of comings and goings that were recorded. But there are also a lot of different borders to cross as well. So
yeah. And we have to remember, she's 19 years old, very impressionable, and like you said in the beginning, wanted to kind of fit in with people. And
yes.
Oh, I hate these bastards.
I know.
I hate these guys. So, is the Mexican government aware of the missing person report on her as well? Have they been helpful at all?
We've actually had... Gosh, this has been going on for so long, but there's been different contacts with the police, or the police over there in Mexico as well. I mean, they cooperated, I guess you could say. We had sightings over there, and we actually went over there. My stepdad and my husband and my brother had went over there because they claimed that she was there. It wasn't her, unfortunately. We actually found somebody else that was missing, so that was good. But
so something good came out of it.
Something good, yeah. But I heard a rumor that she had actually went back to Mexico. But so yeah, I mean, we've had cooperation from the Imperial Valley Police Department a lot, big time. They've been very, very helpful. and different contacts, that we have had. They've been very helpful. Border Patrol, sheriffs,
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I was worried you're going to say that they weren't helpful at all. So,
Well, after the 2 years, when there's been here and there communication, sporadic communication. I know that. Well, I believe that when information comes in, they investigate it. But there has been frustration on my part as well, because I think that I should be contacted a little bit more than I am. But
I was actually going to ask that. How often do you get updates from the Yuma Police Department?
Not that often. Not that.
And what if you call them? Are they forthcoming and talk to you, or are they just kind of?
They're forthcoming to a point. We just actually had a meeting with them because we asked for it. But there's certain things that they'll tell us, and there's certain things that they won't. So it's, like if they are working something and it could be going somewhere, there's only certain things that they tell me.
So are they saying they suspect foul play in Emily's disappearance, or are they not saying that?
They're not saying that yet. I don't think, it hasn't went that direction yet with them.
So if she's a missing person, it's not a criminal case, then why are they not allowing you to see files and everything?
I know that Dave has access to a lot of it. But I always wondered the same thing, because I had found out that they had done a search in a property that I knew nothing about. I had no idea.
Wow. You would think they would have, and it's been my experience from what I've seen, is that they usually get a hold of the family before they conduct a search to say, hey, before you see this on the news, this is going on. So I'm actually shocked they didn't get a hold of you.
Yeah, it actually wasn't the first time either. But, and I'm not a person to talk, bad about people, but it's just frustrating. It's frustrating, especially to be in this nightmare as long as we have, I would just like a little more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about your daughter, so they deserve anything that you can give them to get their asses motivated.
Right. Well, having Dave for the past 8 years has been like a godsend. He has been amazing. I mean, he's been actively investigating for the past 8 years, and he's constant. He gets people who call him. He's done interviews. He's interviewed so many people. I've sat in on quite a few of them myself, hoping that seeing Emily's mom, would help them talk more. So that was the best thing that could have happened to us, was finding him.
That's good. And he's local to Yuma as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll give a shout out to Mr. McDowell. Maybe help his business too.
He's actually soon retired. He's actually just retired. He retired from the business, but he's keeping Emily's case.
Good. Sounds like an amazing man.
He really is.
Now, Emily's sister had just had a baby, I think in December, prior to her disappearance. Emily was looking forward to building a relationship with that child, right?
Yeah, she was even at the hospital when he was born. She really was. She was so excited to be an aunt.
That tells me that this isn't something where she's just mad at you and has run away for the past 10 years. Seems like there's something else going on here.
Right, exactly.
So she was seen on video at Walmart a few weeks after the last time anyone had seen her. Did they recognize any of the people she was with?
Yes. There was actually photos put on the news, that we were looking for these people to contact them and talk to them.
And were they ever located?
I do believe that, yes, I do believe they were located. But at that point, she had moved on to a different group. She didn't make this easy for us because she went from group to group to group. There's so many people that we have talked to that she was, actively involved in these different groups of people, different groups of friends. So, and quick, like it wasn't, I was here for a certain time. I was, it was just, it was so many people.
So was she living as a transient, or was she staying with people?
She was staying with people mostly. She did tell me at times that she was like sleeping outside. She had horrible stories that she was telling me that would sometimes happen to her out there. But she just wasn't ready to, at that time, to do anything to get better or to, change. When my grandson was born, she seemed to be more ready. Like she, wanted to do things differently.
She never actually got a chance to enter a rehab of any sort, but she did talk about wanting to improve herself.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And there were so many times, it broke my heart, because there were so many times that she would call me crying, out there, and I would tell her, Em, you can come home, but you really need to get help, because I had my other daughter here, my grandson, and I just couldn't. It's such a hard place to be at, because, they talked about that tough love stuff and all that crap, but I had so much more to think about too. And so I wanted her home. Of course we want her home, but we wanted her to want to be better, to want to be here also.
Yeah, that is a fine line, right? You're trying to do what's best for her, and now.
Yeah, it's horrible, because you are constantly going over the what ifs. What if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? And it's a horrible place to be at in your head, but
So I'm going to ask you this, and if you don't want to answer, I could just cut this out completely. The whole reason why I started getting into or doing this podcast and trying to help these families is there was a child, 20-month-old girl that went missing. She was a few blocks from my house, and I actually had a dream about her 5 days after she went missing as to where she was. Have you had any dreams like that about Emily?
I've had so many dreams, and some of them are scary. Some of them are way too real. Yeah, I've definitely had them in both ways, thinking, and in fact, I had one dream where we found her, and then in the same dream, it wasn't the way we wanted to find her, so yes, I've had a lot.
You must, every time they talk about finding a female in the area, you must just hold your breath, do you not?
I do. And not only that, but you hear it throughout statewide. I see stories that are not even close to Yuma, and I'm thinking, could it be? And from our Facebook page, we have people sending us pictures of girls in Mexico, and, just girls that they'll see. And, it's like open image. And I'm like, is it going to be her? Is it going to be her? And unfortunately, it's never been her yet. So.
Emily is pretty distinctive. Her look, she's 5'6", 115 pounds, brown hair, green eyes, right? Mm-hmm. She's stunning. I would think that if someone did see Emily, they would recognize her from your pictures that you've posted. Mm-hmm. There's a $15,000 reward for information. Is that what I had read?
It's actually 50.
50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we did have a flyer that was released that said 15, and then it went up to.
So there's a $50,000 reward, and that's for tips leading to Emily, right? Has anyone tried to I don't want to say collect, but has anyone reached out to you because of this reward
You know,
that you put up?
a lot of people who have given us information really didn't mention the reward a whole lot. We've had some, but they haven't really mentioned it. I've had many scams pulled on us, like too many scams pulled on us. But no, the people that have reached out to give us information, some of them would even say, I don't even care about the reward, you know, kind of thing.
Good.
So.
How many shows have you been on? Podcasts or interviews have you had?
This is my third one. I did The Vanished.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I heard that one.
Yeah, and then I just did, it's kind of she's kind of doing it on her own. She reached out to networks and things, but nobody really picked it up, so she's doing it on her own. But I just did one, well, it's about a year in the making, called Rural Gothic. So, and it's brand new.
So is that like a video series she's doing on Emily's case, or is she doing multiple cases?
She's mostly doing it like talking to witnesses and people, because she's from here and she knows a lot of you know, people to talk to here that, you know, the same world that Emily was living in.
So she's spent a lot of time working this case then.
She's read over the file, which is hundreds of pages. She's talked to many people. She's talked to the police, she's talked to Dave, she's talked to some of the family members, and then people that have come out with stories, information.
Awesome. It's nice to see people wanting to help.
It really is, and that's why I thank you so much, because, you know, it's as hard as these things are to do, I don't ever say no to them. You know, I've done so many things for the news and the papers, and I'm not ever gonna say no, because this could be the one thing. What you're doing right now could be the thing that, like,
yeah, that'd be awesome,
that reaches that one person that needs to or wants to come forward and just doesn't know how.
Yeah. All right, Jenny, I really appreciate your time tonight, and obviously we wish you the best, and hopefully you have answers soon as to where Emily is. I mean, we pray that she's safe and that everything will turn out well for you all.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you, so thank you so much.
All right, you have a good night, Jenny.
Okay, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you have any information about the whereabouts of Emily Hieber, please contact the Yuma Police Department at 928-373-4678 or call 78-CRIME to remain anonymous. If you or someone you love is struggling with substance abuse, contact the National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. It's free, confidential, and 24-hour access. Please like, subscribe, and share on all media platforms. We're available on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. And as always, thank you for watching.
For 5-year-old Taylor Williams led investigators to Alabama this week.
So we have some breaking news from Florida. An arrest has been made in connection.
After years of agony, a glimmer of hope for the family.
Investigators spent hours searching through this house off Pennsylvania Avenue.
What could be a major development in the search for missing Alabama teenager.
Tonight, a stunning twist in the search for Taylor.
Somebody out there knows something.
They want to lay him to rest their way, not by somebody else's way.